The ERP marketplace is very, very confusing for an ERP buyer. In 2026, heading into 2027, those evaluating and selecting ERP software have never had more choice from a more diverse set of players. You've got the incumbent vendors, you've got AI native ERP upstarts, and then you've got this third category of players that's coming in from an entirely different perspective, totally non-traditional. Let's unpack this a little bit. With the traditional vendors, the marketplace is actually consolidating. The power, the capabilities are consolidating in those players that have a strong enough install base, a strong enough capital base to bring their products forward both functionally and from an AI perspective. The legacy vendors that haven't had an opportunity to modernize, that aren't as well capitalized, are falling further and further behind. So if you're investing in an incumbent, really understand what the future proofing is like, how their products are going to evolve over time, and whether they're sufficiently well capitalized to actually make it. We've got many clients and others in the marketplace that are asking us, well, what about these AI native ERP upstarts, those that have strong venture private equity backing, companies like Rillet, companies like Campfire, companies like Dual Entry that are really coming at this from a ground up perspective, saying AI is at the core of absolutely everything we do, and it's going to accelerate and it's going to be pervasive. Look, it's a good fit for many, many companies. And just like any system or any vendor in the marketplace, it might not be a fit for others. So again, our advice is always start with your business requirements, understand what a good process flow looks like in the future, and understand how the solution is going to meet those needs. In some cases, those solutions are going to be a really good fit. In other cases, there still remain major gaps, particularly for companies that operate in markets where the solutions don't yet have a module to support those capabilities. The third category is the one that's creating most confusion, and this is particularly with respect to Pemaco's mid-market and up-market enterprise-sized clients. As we said probably about a year ago, we foresaw companies like Palantir, who were originally coming in from more of that agentic analytics view, saying, we think these folks are going to make a play for ERP. We think because of their scheduling capabilities and their network capabilities that they're going to displace traditional ERP functionality like MRP, which is really one of the core ERP fundamental capabilities. And what we said and what's bearing out to be true is that Palantir is coming in from a top level and saying, well, how can we drop in over the top of legacy systems and fill gaps in capabilities, replace capabilities? And that's precisely how they're approaching it. So this is one great example of a company that's coming in and saying, we don't think you operate like everyone else in the industry, and we're going to deploy forward deployed engineers, and we're going to map your business and build a solution that's custom for you using our AI engine to deliver. And then there's another category that falls into this, companies that are your generic AI models, your Anthropics of the world, your OpenAIs, that are actually deploying functional capabilities in their solutions. Claude for finance, for legal, and we expect to see this proliferate. So companies are saying, well, can I continue to live with some of my legacy systems and perhaps deploy agentic capabilities and process automation capabilities from some of the more generic models and perhaps avoid a big rip and replace type of program? A lot of pros and cons to these different approaches, a lot of questions about control and governance and many other things that are required to succeed. The fundamentals of picking a solution, picking the right vendor, of managing implementation are not different today than they were a few years ago. We just have more options on the marketplace. We also have a lot more uncertainty about where things are headed in the future, and that creates confusion because if things are dynamic and evolving, it's hard to pin down requirements. However, the one advice I would give you is if you don't have a credible proof of concept, if you don't have a credible budget, if you don't have a credible roadmap, and if you don't have a credible business case, don't take a promise that will deliver it at face value. You want something that is going to handle your mission critical needs, And it's very important that you get a level of proof that satisfies you of those capabilities.